Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to have a chat about what has changed for 2022 so far while we have a night walk around central Pattaya. It's about 9:30 at night, so you can see for yourself exactly what the situation is, and you have some eye candy. So the first changes that we'll have a chat about is prices. Some prices haven't changed much. In beer bars, such as the core basic get you in price of a bottle of beer, which is around 70 baht or so, about $2. But have noticed some of the newer, trendier bars on LK Metro and on Bacau, some of the trendy ones, have been pushing that bottled beer price up a little bit, more like 80 baht. And these prices also apply to the go-go bars in LK Metro, which have opened. Pause. So, as I was saying, the go-go bars have opened in LK Metro, but not as go-go's. There's no dancing, the girls are dressed in normal clothes. And they're not asking go-go prices in LK Metro. They're just asking normal beer bar prices, admittedly a little tiny bit higher. So you're looking at around 80 baht sort of thing for a beer, which is not too bad if the eye candy is good. For example, Sugar Sugar and Catch Me, which are go-go's, are open. And you can go inside and you can sit down, and there are girls dressed in normal clothes who you can chat with, and you can buy lady drinks, and you can bar fine. But as I said, Sugar Sugar and Catch Me, although the go-go's, they're actually not any dancing. There's no dancing at all. And that is in contrast to the go-go bars on Walking Street, which have chosen to open. But they're opening as beer bars, in effect, but they're still charging go-go prices. I couldn't believe it when I went in and tried it out. I thought, this is ridiculous. But what can you say? You know, that's what they're doing. So on Walking Street, there's 3 or 4 go-go's which are open, and the larger ones have put like a temporary wall in and cut the size down to about half the size they were, and they put sofas all around. And the girls, dressed in absolutely normal street clothes, are sitting around on the sofas, chatting to each other and playing with phones. And there were no customers there. I'm not surprised. You go in once and you come out. And that's all that was going on. They had music and that was it. As I say, the lady drinks were pushing 200 baht, same as they are normally. But there was no dancing whatsoever. It was just like going into a beer bar and having to pay 200 baht lady drinks. What I did was I was on the bike, so I had a soda, okay, and they charged me 120 baht. That's $3.60 for a soda. But that's what the go-go's on Walking Street are doing. They haven't done the same as the ones at LK Metro did, where they've reduced the prices to a beer bar prices, because it is in effect a beer bar. They're still sticking with the go-go prices. Couldn't believe it. Anyway, what can I say? So on Walking Street, they're still charging full 2019 prices for everything. Everything, okay? And there's no dancing, no nothing. So I waited like 5 minutes to see what would happen. Nothing happened. I got bored and left after 5 minutes. That's what happened. So that's mostly drinks prices there. There have also been changes in lady drink prices. So back in 2019, lady drink prices in normal sort of beer bars were around about 130 baht. That's about $3.90 US. But now, in the busier and the trendier bars on LK, including the Go-Go's, and on the busier trendy bars in Bukaw, including Tree Town, they're mostly 150 baht, which is $4.50. Now if you go down to Walking Street, as I said, into the non-Go-Go bars, which are reopened, they're still 200 baht, you know, $6. Crazy. Let's just discuss bar fine prices, shall we, as they are at the moment. Now, back in 2019, in most of the beer bars, bar fine prices were 300 baht, or maybe the odd one was a little bit more here and there. It's about $9 or $10 US. Now, I searched around, went in many bars, could not find any normal beer bar or Go-Go style beer bar with a bar fine below 500. Some were 550, that's 15 US. And that's only for ST, short time, okay? A couple of hours. Now if you wanted long time, they're pushing 1,000 baht. And there is a specific reason for that. And this is beer bars we're talking about, not Go-Go's. But there's a reason for that. And it's really the shortage of girls, that's the reason. I'll explain it in a minute. I also should point out that those prices are for younger girls in busy, trendy bars, okay? Not some little side street for an old lady, no, okay? We're not talking about that. We're talking about something a little more desirable. So normal beer bar ST Go prices in 2019 was about 1,000 baht, about $30 US. Now it's between 1,500 and 2,000, 45 to 60 US dollars. The prices have definitely changed because there's a serious shortage of decent looking girls. Whether that will change as more girls start to return to Pattaya, which they are starting to do, because they've been hearing on Facebook about how much money they can make, so they're starting to return. Just wait and see. There's no doubt that the reason for the bar fine hike is the shortage of girls. I mean, many of the beer bars, which used to pay the girls like something like 10,000 baht a month, that's $300 US a month salary, are now having to pay to get decent girls in 1,000 baht, that's $30 US a day. Now, and after the first 5 drinks each day, the girl gets 50 baht, that's $1.50 for each drink. And many of these girls are getting 20 drinks a day. That's an extra 750 baht or $22 plus tips, which are around about sort of, 250, 60, 70 baht, around sort of $8 for the tips as well. Okay? So a lot of these girls are now making 2,000 baht, that's 60 US dollars, every day without doing any ST at all. So that's why ST prices have gone up, because the girls don't need the ST money. right? They're making plenty of money without doing that, with just the drinks and the tips and the salary every day. So that's the prices now with this serious shortage of girls. So when things get a little bit more busy, more girls come back, maybe it'll change back a little bit. Can't see it going all the way back, but it may go back a little bit. You just have to wait and see what happens. Your guess is as good as mine, you know. I'm just telling you what I actually can see and right now. By the way, I'm not being negative, all right? Don't start saying I'm being negative, because I'm not. I'm just telling you the absolute God's honest truth, okay? I'm not BSing anybody. I'm telling you the truth. So please don't shoot the messenger, all right? Another price change which I've noticed is the new gentlemen's clubs, the ones that have sprung up recently. In Soy Boomerang and also on Bacau, and they're charging 500 or 550 for an ST room, but the established gents clubs, they're sticking to the original prices, which is 350 to 400 baht, which is 10 to 12 US dollars. That's what their prices are. They haven't put theirs up at all. But they're really expat based, aren't they? Their customers more expats, whereas the places on Bacau and Boomerang are really more central, and probably they're aiming there for a client base. I think that will be mostly tourists. That's what I think they're aiming for, because the prices are much higher. But they're in a good location for tourists, so they might succeed. Also, some of them are opening later than the usual gents clubs, maybe a couple of hours later, 2 or 3 hours later than many gents clubs. So once again, that implies that they're not after expats, they're after the tourists. That's what I think is going on with those newer places. Okay, enough about price increases. Okay, let me tell you a little funny story which my hairdresser friend told me. Now, if you remember from previous videos, I've got a very, very good friend I've known for many, many years who has her own hairdressing shop, and all her customers are working girls, and they know her like a friend, and they chat and tell her everything. And I've known her so long, she tells me everything. So we have some interesting conversations. Anyway, not long ago, she had a regular customer girl came into her shop, and the customer was like ecstatic, so happy, because she'd recently been released from hospital, where she'd been for over a week with the O version of you know what, all paid for by the state because she's Thai, right? But that wasn't the reason she was happy, because she'd been released. No, the reason she was so happy was because about a year ago, when the D version was prevalent and everyone was scared to death of you know what, the girl had bought an insurance policy at 7-Eleven for only 600 Thai baht, which is next to nothing, okay? Which guaranteed a payment of 1 million, yes, 1 million Thai baht direct into your bank if you caught you know what. By the way, if you're wondering, 1 million Thai baht is 30,000 US dollars. But the policy didn't stipulate which version it would have to be. So any version of you know what qualified, including the bad cold O version. And she had just received a deposit from the insurance company of 1 million Thai baht into her bank. I didn't believe the story at first, and neither did my hairdresser friend. And then just a few days later, another girl came into the shop, exactly the same story, and she'd received 1 million Thai baht from a different insurance company, because there were several that were offering this policy about a year ago, 18 months ago, something like that, and many people have bought it. A lot of Thai people, mostly Thai people, have bought this because they were scared. I mean, you know how it is. They've been scaremongering, you know what I mean? So then it went crazy all over Thai language Facebook, to the point, telling everybody what had happened, to the point where lots of Thai people who had this policy, either from this company or another company, were going out anywhere they could go where there were crowds of people trying to catch the old version so that they could make a claim, and trying to go to parties and group meetings, anything where there were lots of people to try to catch it. Anyway, only just the other day I was watching Thai TV news, and it was announced that a particular insurance company, this is the first one, which is over 70 years old apparently, has just gone into liquidation due to excessive claims related to you know what. And the parent company of that company was now cancelling all policies regarding that particular type of thing and refunding the 600 baht to everyone. So if you were quick off the mark, you got your money, but now it's all been cancelled. But this was a little while ago she mentioned. I didn't bother telling anybody, but now when it's popped up on the news that it's definitely 100% fact, because the TV news have said these companies have gone bust now, or the first one of the many will, no doubt. I thought, well, it's the truth, so I shall tell you guys. I'm not going to tell you anything that's not true, but so this is true. So going back to the subject of the video, which is changes in 2022, once again the entry rules into Thailand have changed. Now Test and Go is due to return on the 1st of February, and it's now open to any vax travellers from any country. But it doesn't mean that you can come on the 1st of February. What it means is that you can apply for your Thailand pass from the 1st of February. And the normal time for a Thailand pass application to process is 7 to 10 days to receive approval. So if you apply for your Thailand pass on the 1st of February, you can probably book your flight for about the 10th. Or they do it before that and you may need to change it. Another change to the Test and Go is that now you have to book into an SHA hotel for a second night on the 5th night of your stay to do the second PCR test. This is mainly because so many people have absconded after they received a text saying that the result was positive. They just upped and left, and they don't know where they go, start doing manhunts. So now what they do is, if your second PCR test is positive, they don't send you a message. They deliver it in person to your hotel with a couple of guys dressed in PPE and a minivan, and they take you direct to the hospital for a week at either your expense or your insurance company's expense. Probably your insurance, because they've changed the stipulation. So now if you're asymptomatic, you have to have insurance which covers that, because before it didn't. And that's another change which has just occurred recently, in that the insurance now must cover asymptomatic people if they test positive and they end up being dragged off to a hotel or hospital or whatever you want to call it. And the problem before was that the insurance only covered medical costs. It didn't cover the accommodation. Now this new insurance, which they're insisting on, must also cover the cost of this hospital accommodation. Okay. So that's the change, a few changes, probably more, but anyway guys, I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful, informative, enlightening, or whatever. And I hope that you will subscribe and like and share and ring the bell. And thank you very, very much for watching. I'll see you on the next video.